back to Stoddard, Wisconsin, site of tonight's Legion Class A baseball game. Here we are, Ken Manning, Western Wisconsin Video Productions, LLC. Joining me once again, Carl Zuby from Viroqua and Chuck Rasmussen from Lancaster. And fellas, we watched an interesting ball game, one that on the previous game between the Fenimore Crew and Prairie du Chien Grasshoppers. It wound up a very tight game, and then all of a sudden the roof caved in, Chuck.
Yes, it was. I believe, what did we talk? It was a one-run or two-run ball game until the fifth, and then Prairie du Chien scored maybe 8 runs, and yeah, that was kind of the close part right there. So it was a good game up to then. Both of the Nicholson for Prairie du Chien pitched the whole game and pitched a very good game. It'd be interesting to see how many pitches that he threw. And then Lindowski started for Fenimore and pitched a very efficient 4 innings. And then they replaced him and then immediately give up quite a number of runs. But that was a pretty good game. Well played. Not a lot of walks. Pretty good defense. Just a couple of errors. And yeah, this is. Looking forward to the nightcapper.
Yeah, and tonight, Carl, we are going to be watching the Viroqua 138ers as they take on the host Stoddard crew here, the Legion team. And they actually played once before, and I believe it was a 5-0 ball game that Viroqua was able to pick up the victory. Down here tonight, starting pitching, it's going to be Andy Baumkamp. Andy was one of those main wheeling and dealers last year for Viroqua as he had graduated but was young enough, able to come back. And Carl, what do we know about Andy and this Viroqua crew?
Well, like you say, Andy's, this is his first year, or second year coming back post-graduation. Obviously pitched very well the last few years as a Blackhawk and a 138er. The rest of the team, Griffin Olson is hitting the ball real well. Camden Oliver.
There's Clayton in there.
Yep, Clayton is batting very well. I know some of their other pitchers that they've had. Casey Kowalczyk had pitched here somewhat recently. They've got a lot of people with a lot of good arms. They're really deep in that area.
Well, an interesting part, and Chuck, just as like the games come along the next couple of days, what Carl just mentioned, you're going to see probably Noah Matheson as a starting pitcher, and you're also going to see a couple others. Well, we're going to have our break. Okay. back we come here to Stoddard as the final warm-up pitches taking place here. Let's turn the mic over to Carl and Chuck, and let's get that starting lineup.
All right, Ken, for Viroqua. 6-4 summer record. Head coach Pete Swanson. He is assisted by Kelly Olson, Scott Hubach, and Ben Slack. And you guys got to correct me if I have some pronunciations incorrect. Leading off and playing third base will be Griffin Olson. He'll be followed by Evan Hubach, who's the catcher. Clayton Slack, the shortstop, will be batting third, and he'll be followed by Camden Oliver, the first baseman. Batting fifth, Braden Lindowski.
Lindowski.
Lindowski, okay. And you'll probably have to help me out several different times there. The one at the Fenimore is Lindowski.
Third baseman, number 1.
Following him will be Noah Matheson playing right field, and then Ashton Swanson is in left. And Casey
Kowalczyk
is the second baseman, and DHing today will be Benny Fergus. Pitcher, Andy Baumkamp. And pitching for Stoddard is Taylor Brock. And the first pitch from Brock is a strike to Griffin Olson. Olson batting left-handed. Just finished his junior year in high school and was an all-conference selection. I appreciate the information I got from several of the parents, or relatives, I'm guessing, as far as for the information here for you, as far as years just finished and all-conference information. We start down with an error by the second baseman, who would be Drake Cumlin.
The catcher, number 17.
And that'll bring up
Evan
Hubach, the catcher. 17. We'll give you the defense here for Stoddard. Said Taylor Brock is on the mound to start things out, and behind the plate is Aiden Brozinski. Throw over to first. Olson reaches easily. And again, the part of the defense here, and I apologize for mispronunciations here. The runner takes off. He'll be down to second there with a stolen base. Olson into second. Kazuski playing first base. Drake Cumlin there's at second. Thompson the shortstop, and Ziegler playing third base. The outfield we'll get to in just a second. A fly ball hit towards shallow left field. Left fielder is there, and he'll make the catch, and that is Scoville. Boardman playing center field, and Kosh playing right. I'll get the first names of them. Okay.
Shortstop, number 9.
The right fielder?
Yep.
Okay. Couldn't read the writing on the sheet that I got my information from.
And learned that by eavesdropping.
Okay. All right. There's a base hit by Clayton Slack, and that'll score Olson.
Well, Slack, again, with all that hustle, guys, he winds up with that double. He had just got that great takeoff speed out of the box.
Good athlete. This is going to bring up Camden Oliver playing first base. Number 23, left-handed batter. Ground ball between the first baseman and the second baseman. Another hit. And another run.
I'd like to say a quick thank you to Allstate Insurance, then the Manning Agency, the Auto Value Parts of Viroqua, and Beanie's Diner of Westby.
Braden Lindowski. Is that correct?
Lindowski. Yep.
Lindowski.
He's actually cousins to the guy from Fenimore.
Okay. Pronounced a little bit different there. Ground ball to the shortstop. Shortstop will flip to Cumlin, second baseman, for out number 2. So Lindowski reaches on a fielder's choice.
Now batting right fielder, number 21, Noah Matheson. 2 out.
And it'll be with 2 outs, Noah Matheson to the plate. Good toss over to first. Lindowski is back. Toss back over to first.
and to keep that runner at bay to keep him off a scoring position.
Ball taken by Matheson. Matheson playing right field today, number 21. There's a ground ball to the second baseman, Cumlin, for the first, and we have the third out. 2 runs across, though, for Viroqua in the top of inning number 1.
And back we come here to Stoddard, game number 2, now underway.
For Stoddard, the catcher, number
All right,
17,
we'll go to the bottom part of inning number 1. It'll be Aiden Brzezinski, followed by Alex Scoville and Andrew Thompson. On the mound for Viroqua is Andy Baumkamp. High and away to Brzezinski. Andy Baumkamp on the mound. Behind the plate, Evan Hubach. All tip. First base is Camden Oliver. The second baseman, Casey
Kowalczyk.
I gotta get this better. Write it down. Kowalczyk. Shortstop Clayton Slack. That's fouled off, and the third baseman is Griffin Olson. In the outfield, it'll be Ashton Swanson in left, Braden Lindowski in center field, and Noah Matheson in right.
I know how to pronounce Kowalczyk. I can't spell it, but I've heard it said.
All right, a strikeout.
I'd like
Yep.
to say thank you for some more sponsors: Brigham Oil of Cashton,
number 18,
CNC Landscaping of Viroqua, and Campbell's One Stop Mobile in Soldiers Grove.
Kowalczyk, spelled as Kawallchek.
Do they call that phonetically? Is that
I don't know, that's a pretty big word.
I can't spell that one either.
I don't think I can either.
Just know when I graduated from TC, they had me write my name how it sounded, so it was Zoobee, and they didn't screw it up. I was pretty amazed.
Strike. 2-2 now on Alex Scoville, left fielder, number 18. Scoville just graduated this past spring. And he'll take that pitch outside, makes the count full on Scoville. 1 down. He'll be followed by Andrew Thompson. And he'll take his base on a walk there, so a strikeout and a walk. Stoddard, coached by Darwin Cumlin
Scoville with a 1-0
and
walk.
assisted by Derek
Brings up
Boardman.
shortstop, Number 5, Andrew Thompson.
Andrew Thompson steps in with a runner on first and 1 out. Pitch high and tight. Andrew Thompson playing shortstop today. He just graduated also, was an all-conference selection. Baseball this spring, another tight pitch.
Our umpires for today, they've switched spots from the first game. Behind the plate is Jason Rude, Viroqua native.
Fly ball towards center field. Braden Dosky is there. He'll make the catch. The runner at first retreats, and we have 2 down.
He plays a very solid center field.
One on and 2 out. Now batting center fielder number 22, Josh Boardman.
And on the bases today is Brandon Mickelson.
Josh Boardman with 2 outs steps to the plate. Center fielder, number 22. Another all-conference selection this past spring. He just finished his junior year. Which is down low, throw down to second. Kubach from his knees, throw to second. Shows a pretty strong arm.
One of the better catchers in the area for those throwdown plays. He's picked off a lot of guys, and it doesn't matter if it's first, second, or third. He can
Right.
hit them all.
He's done a very nice job with that.
Called strike on Boardman. Count evens at 1-1.
Shout out a few more of our sponsors. Cashton Farm Supply. Cashton, the organic feed specialist. Chaseburg Manufacturing, home of the Scrusher. And the American Family Insurance, and that is the Phil Strand office in Westby.
Count at 1
And
2.
Viroqua.
And Viroqua. I forget he's got both of them.
Ground ball off the pitcher's glove, fielded by the second baseman, Casey Kolacek, and on the first, Camden Oliver for out number 3. Put that down as a 1-4-3.
4 Stoddard in the bottom of the first. No runs, no hits,
Well, here we go with the second inning.
All right, we're going to go 7, 8, 9 in the Viroqua order. Leading things off will be Ashton Swanson's left fielder. Number 10, he'll be followed by Casey Kowalczyk and then Benny Fergat. 2-0 Viroqua with 2 runs in the first inning. On the mound, Taylor Brock for Stoddard. Behind the plate is Aiden Brozinski. The 1-1 pitch. Outside and low. Viroqua, 30 ball games already this summer. Comes in with a record of 26-4. Beautiful evening here at the Stoddard Village Ballpark. A very, very light breeze. The walk by Swanson.
You know, Chuck, you take a look at the 30 ball games, such a condensed Allegiant season here, really typically instead of like 6 weeks, maybe 7 at the most, only 4 weeks this particular summer. So 30 ball games is doing I think a pretty good job for them.
Yeah, no questions about that. And you know, it's these ball games that makes Viroqua tough. Year in, year out, not just Legion baseball, but high school baseball too. And,
They paid, I can't remember if it's either 24 or 26 is the max for school ball, but they hit the max.
They hit the
this
max.
year. I want to say they only had 4 losses in their school ball too, or something real
Right.
close to that.
Sure.
So you're right up around that 40-8 mark.
Yeah.
yeah. Casey Kowalczyk, the batter, in second base, number 16 on his back, has just finished his sophomore year in high school. Honorable mention all conference. It's going to be a ground ball to the shortstop. Shortstop flips it over to second base and on to first, but that throw will be too late. So Kowalczyk reaches on a fielder's choice. 6-4 for out number 1.
The DH, number 12, Benny Fergit.
Number 9 now batting, Benny Fergit, the DH for Viroqua. Fergit just finished his junior year in high school and was an honorable mention.
Usually one of the
conference selection.
outfielders.
What's that?
Usually playing left field or right field. I think he played the latter part of the season in right field.
Yeah.
Throw down, stolen base. Kowalczyk.
Well, Frigate has, you watch, Chuck, if he gets on base, this young man has got speed to burn.
Okay.
We did some time trials and some speed racing in football camp, and he is the fastest guy on the Blackhawk football team.
Where is he expected to position himself on the team?
Well, you know, he's kind of up in there. Last year he played some receiver and cornerback for us.
Okay.
He may be transitioning into the backfield this year and then moving over to a safety spot.
Okay.
We'd like to thank the Chaseburg American Legion Post 202, the Central Express in Cashton, and Compier Financial for helping you bring today's broadcast and this weekend's broadcast of the American Legion Baseball Regional.
Ground ball to the third baseman, Brian Ziegler, and on over to first for out number 2. Kowalczyk goes on to third on the throw.
1 and 2 out. We go to the top of the order. Third baseman, Griffin Olson.
Griffin Olson, left-handed batter, steps in. He reached on an error by the second baseman in the first inning and scored a run. We are in the second inning. Viroqua leading 2-0. 2 outs. Pitch a little bit high. Two and 0. Catches the outside part of the plate. And the count now at 2-1. That high. Count goes to 3-1. Runner on third, 2 outs. Count full.
I'd also like to thank the Coon Valley American Legion, Coon Valley Dairy Supply, and the Coon Valley Tax Service for being sponsors of this broadcast.
Olson walks. He'll be down at
Olson
first.
takes a walk. That's Runners at the corners with
Call a
2
check
outs
at
for the
third.
catcher, Evan Hobart.
And this will be Evan Hubach. Standing in now. He flew out to left field in the first inning. A fly ball to shallow left center. And it's going to drop in there for a base hit.
I thought they would have sent Griffin on that, but they held him up at third.
Mm-hmm.
He had a pretty good head of steam heading into third, too. I thought he could use that and rounded the corner, but
He was trucking.
At shortstop, Clayton Slack with 2 outs.
well, if you're going to have a guy in scoring position with 2 outs, there's not very many better people to have at the plate than Clayton.
Clayton Slack doubled in his first appearance at the plate.
I'll
To
tell
left
you what,
field, yes.
excuse me, Chuck, Boardman is playing very shallow for Slack, I think.
Center field there. And there's a drive down the line, just foul down the third base line. Clayton Slack just graduated and was a conference player of the year for Viroqua.
He's also going to be the Viroqua representative for the All-Star game. Be played down in American Family Field.
Down there Tuesday night, watch the Brewers talk about ho-hum performance. There's a shot off the, it's going to be a base hit by Slack. And he'll take second. Line shot. Tough play there by Thompson, and I got it down as a base hit. We'll see if I'm by far not efficient.
First baseman Camden Oliver. 2 outs.
Yeah, I agree with you, Chuck. That was a good base hit.
Yeah, the shortstop may have touched it with his glove, but there's another base hit, and this one is by Camden Oliver.
And he's going to take 2 on this one. Got by the left fielder, the right fielder.
And on to third.
He's going to hit third.
You call that a single on the 2-base error?
Yeah. I didn't see I was screened off by the trees, so
I'm trying my best to look through a viewfinder of a camera.
good luck.
You're on your own, Chuck.
Well, that's the way I'm going to call it there.
We'll believe.
From what I saw looking through the leaves there on the tree, it looked like he should have been held to a single, but
Yeah.
got the fielder mishandled it, and now Oliver's at third, and Landowski batting. Landowski reached on a fielder's choice.
We'll go out of play.
4 runs across already for Viroqua here in the second inning. Lead 6-0.
I'd like to say thank you to the Coon Valley Telecommunications, and they serve Stoddard, Coon Valley, and the Chaseburg communities. Countertops by Design in Westby, and Culver's of Viroqua.
Count 2-1, 2 outs. Landowski foul that one off. Count evens now at 2s. And a beautiful evening here. You know, the sun going down in the west, and it's kind of shaded with all the smoke from the wildfires out in the west and up in Canada. Pretty orange color. There's a swing and a miss by Landowski, and that'll be 3 outs. But 6 runs across here in the second, or excuse me, 4 runs across here in the second. For Viroqua, they lead 6-0. Bottom half of inning number 2 for Stoddard. It'll be Jake Krzyzewski, Evan Cole, and Brock Taylor. 5, 6, 7 batters in the order. The ground balls of the shortstop. Slack picks, fires over to first. Camden Oliver for number 1.
Pretty smooth reaction there by Slack once again.
Yep.
Evan Cole.
Very good ball player. Evan Cole will step in now. Cole playing right field, number 32. Just finished his sophomore year. Good sized young man. Hoping that he plays football. High and away. Cole.
I'd like to thank a few more of our sponsors in the Eagle Title Company of Coon Valley.
Hopper right back to Baumkamp. Baumkamp over to Oliver for out number 2.
Effinger Sales, Equipment,
Now batting the pitcher.
and Service.
28, Brock Taylor.
Brings up the pitcher, Brock Taylor. Wearing 28 on his back. Just finished his sophomore year. Ground ball to the second baseman. Kovalchuk over to Oliver for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down here in the bottom half of number 2 for Stoddard. They trail 6-0.
For Stoddard in the bottom of leading off for Viroqua. The right fielder, Noah Matheson.
Well, here we are with the 3rd inning. Back to Chuck.
All right. Noah Matheson leads off. He grounds it over to third. And he's going to beat that one out. Noah Matheson with a base hit, I think. Put it down that way. But kind of a slow one there. And the third baseman,
Now batting left fielder,
no
Ashton
error, but
Swanson.
Matheson just beat it out. Ashton Swanson now up. He grounded out. He walked and then got caught at second on a fielder's choice for the first out last inning. Swanson, the left fielder.
We'd like to thank you to these fine sponsors of this weekend's tournament broadcast: Hopkins and Hopkins Law Office of Viroqua, the Viroqua Eagles, Area 2707, and Embroidery and More and Main Street Design in Westby.
And if I caught this correctly here, Swanson was Ridgeon Valley Player of the Year.
Yep, he played for Seneca, I
Okay.
believe.
All right. And there's a hit towards center field, just kind of dropping in there between the center fielder and shortstop. So Swanson on base with a base hit.
Base hit for Swanson. Brings up
Yeah, it was early in the year, and I said something to Peter, and he goes, "Well, we'll see how this goes. I've never had a relation play for me." So, his nephew.
Okay. All right. Casey Kowalczyk.
Gesundheit.
And he hits a sharp one to the shortstop. Shortstop over to third for the force out. Kowalczyk will be reaching a fielder's choice. Swanson goes over to second, and Matheson to the dugout.
Nice.
2 on and 1 out.
Heads
Now
up
batting
play by the
eighth,
shortstop to
Benny.
get that lead
Yep.
runner.
Shortstop, Andrew Thompson. And this brings up the number 9 batter, Benny Fergus. And there is one looping out to right field, and it's a base hit for Fergus. And all the runners are going to move up a spot.
We've got one out right now, bases loaded, and top of the
Base
order.
hit for Fergus. Loads the bases
I'd
with
say
one
the
out.
gun
To
is
top
loaded.
of the order. Third baseman Griffin
Olson. Griffin Olson batting again. There's third at bat, and we're just in the third inning.
We'd like to thank Main Street Mobile Mart of Viroqua, Legacy Grill and Pub in Coon Valley, Johnson Chiropractic of La Crosse, Jenkins, Stittelberg, and Men Law Offices of Viroqua, and I believe they have one in Lafarge, but I'm not sure, and Jansen Concrete of Westby.
Olson has reached twice on an air, and then he walked, scored twice. He's behind now, 0-2 in the count. Taylor Brock on the mound. Aiden Brzezinski behind the plate. And Jake Krzyzewicz.
Brzezinski had a
Krasinski. Okay.
nice year wrestling for DeSoto.
Oh,
Yes.
There's a shot, and it's going to go all the way to the fence in left center field. One run across. Here comes number 2 and number 3. Olson, 3 RBIs
3
on the
RBI
double.
double for Olson. And brings up the catcher, Evan Kubach.
Olson's one of those kids that my first year teaching, I had him almost all morning. Had him for 2 classes back to back. And he tested the nerves as a sophomore, but now coming in as a senior,
Oh.
he's really matured. Just a great kid.
All right, that's going to be an error on the shortstop. He was there and made a nice grab, but then threw the ball away towards first. Olson
Now
will
batting
score.
shortstop, Clayton Slack. 1 out.
And he's 6.
High fly ball, that's
Fly
out of
ball
play.
right in here with the crowd.
I just about hit my wife. Heads up. Oh, too late.
Oh,
We don't
you
get
wanted,
cables.
you wanted her to look at that, didn't you? Yeah.
We don't get cable, so she won't see this.
Okay, that's good.
Nobody will tell her neither, right? Yeah. All right, pitch. Ooh, in tight. On Clayton Slack. Slack 2 for 2 already. 2 runs scored.
Of course, it might go on my YouTube channel. Watch out.
And he high fly ball. Who's going to get there? Right fielder is going to get the catch. That'll be Evan Cole. And we have 2 down.
With 1 on and 2 out. Now batting first baseman, Camden Oliver.
Camden Oliver comes to the plate. Oliver already 2 for 2. 2 singles to right field. Left-handed batter, number 23. Oliver, all-conference selection, just finished his junior year. All of these players in the lineup for Viroqua, either all conference or honorable mention. There's a shot out towards right field. It's going to be back there deep,
And that's over the
it's
fence.
on.
That's one place you don't throw a ball to Camden Oliver, and that's inside. And that's exactly what he did.
Yeah. And so Oliver with a home run. Oliver now at 3 for 3.
For Camden Oliver.
He's a solid young man.
He still doesn't like it when I refer to him as the Big Hurt. And
He should know that's a huge compliment.
Oh.
Here.
Fielder,
Man.
Lewandowski.
And with 2 outs, it's going to bring up Braden Lewandowski.
what is it there in left field? It's 283 in left field. You got 360 in center, or I should say right field. Left field's 294. But that was somewhere I would say that bounced most of the way across the road. So I would say he definitely was clearing about 330 or better.
Yeah.
Got it into it pretty well. Lewandowski has reached on a fielder's choice and struck out. Ground ball to the third baseman, Ziegler. Oh. And he'll get the out at first. And we have a 12-0 score after the top of the third.
Oh, here we go with the bottom half of inning number 3, and back to Chuck and Carl.
All right, thank you. The 8-9-1 batters here for Stoddard in the bottom of number 3. It'll be Brian Ziegler, the third baseman. He'll be followed by Bryce Grilly, and then the top of the order. On the mound, Andy Baumkamp. For Viroqua, behind the plate, Evan Hubach. Camden Oliver is there at first. Foul ball. Casey Kowalczyk is the second baseman. Clayton Slack at shortstop. Griffin Olson at third. In the outfield, Ashton Swanson, Braden Lewandowski, and Noah Matheson. 2-1 pitch from Baumkamp. Misses. Count goes to 3-1.
We'd like to thank Proline Printing and All County Signs of Viroqua, Portland Implement of Cashton, O'Reilly Auto Parts of Viroqua, and Nordic Lanes of Westby for their sponsorship in this weekend's Legion Regional playoff tournament.
And a strikeout. Swinging for out number 1. That'll bring up Bryce Grelly.
Next up, first baseman number 3, Bryce Grilly.
Grelly playing first base. Number 3 on his back. Just finished his sophomore year in high school.
What is you probably said it, Chuck.
Excuse me.
Tyler Quackenbush here. Is he going to be a sophomore? Or?
He's going to be a sophomore.
Okay.
This is Grelly. I wrote down. I must have been writing wrong here. I put 3 and 3, so he's 15 on his back. Ground ball to Olson at third. Olson over to first for out number 1.
With 2 out, we go to the top of the order. The catcher, Aiden Brzezinski.
Back to the top of the order, and Braden Brzezinski. Brzezinski struck out swinging in his first at bat. We're in the third with 2 outs for Stoddard. Stoddard trailing 12-0. There's a swing, kind of a check swing, but he went all the way around, couldn't get the body to stop. That was one of Ken's tricks. You know, there was a strike on him, and maybe bounced off to the side of the plate, and he didn't like it. He'd kick some dirt on the plate and make the umpire go back and clean it up. Strike 2.
Way too many stories.
Yeah, I got another one I'm going to give you here too pretty soon.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is maybe funny now, but not funny at that time. You have to wait here. You have to ask me. All right, 3 up, 3 down here in the bottom half of number 3 for Stoddard. We go to the top of the 4th, 12-0.
Well, a 12-0 score here as we move into the top of the 4th inning. Viroqua on top, Let's turn the mic back over to Chuck.
Leading off for
All right,
Viroqua,
thanks, Ken. It'll
right
be
fielder Noah Matheson.
Noah Matheson leading off. He led off last inning for Viroqua, and then that inning there, they scored 6 runs. To the coaches, I said, hey, you got to talk to these ball players about bats and throwing them back to the dugout, or whatever. And because they were throwing. Now you know where I'm going with the story.
I know where you're going now.
Yeah, and because they were throwing them back and flipping them end over end instead of on that. Well, I ended up in the game. I flipped one back towards the dugout, and it ended up cracking, hitting the handle of the bat, and bouncing up and catching Ken right in the wrist. And I know he said a couple French words, and then moved on. But I felt bad about that, and I remember that to this day.
Oh my gosh, do I ever? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I had another one. This is the honest truth. I used to coach baseball. I was the head coach at Lancaster for 8 years, and we played some summer baseball. And we went down to play Potosi, and Potosi always had a nice squad and whatever it was. We had a pitcher that he could pitch both left-handed and right-handed.
Wow.
Doug Larson was his name, not whatever. But the umpire, who him and I didn't necessarily see eye to eye in a number of things, it was the first inning. And immediately, he calls our pitcher for a balk from a windup. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And the Potosi ended up getting a runner on base. And so we're from the stretch. And there's a walk, talking about a walk to Matheson. And they get a runner on. So we go from the stretch.
Left fielder Ashton
And
Swanson.
boom, right now, balk. And our pitcher is one thing to another. And I said, I just called timeout. I said, we're going to switch pitchers right here. So we did, one thing to another. And then got done with the inning and batted and thing to another. And I was coaching third, and we had the first base dugout. And we got out, and he took a bat, tossed it to the dugout, and it bounced, one thing to another.
Oh no.
Well, didn't hit anybody, one thing to another, and I kind of looked at him, and I knew that if I would have said something, he'd have kicked me out. But the next inning, another batter used that bat, swung and hit the ball, and it broke the bat.
Oh.
It was a metal bat.
Wow.
And I get done with the inning, come across, and he says, "I've never seen it before." And I said, "That's the same bat that you just threw. Think about it." And needless to say, he did not umpire any more games.
Yeah. Wow.
But whatever.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, when you throw in $300 bats around.
yep.
Okay, this is Ashton Swanson batting with a runner on first. That runner on first is Noah Matheson. Count 2-2, but nobody out here in the 4th inning. Swanson will be followed by Kowalczyk. Dead ball hits Swanson. So hit by pitch. Down to first he goes. On over to second goes Matheson.
Swanson.
Well, we'd like to thank these businesses for sponsoring this weekend's broadcast. The Richland Grant Telephone Cooperative, Riverbank of Coon Valley and Westby, Riverview Auto right here in Stoddard, Rudy's Bar and Grill in Genoa, and the Scenic Bluffs Community Health Centers.
Kowalczyk swings and he drives one out to right center field at right to the base of the fence, and Pete decides to hold up the runners.
Kelly Olson doing the coaching down at third.
Okay.
And you're right, though. It would have been Pete that would have made the call as far as one base at a time from here on out.
Okay. So we'll give Kelly the credits here, but that's some sportsmanship. Outside, the pitch to Benny Ferget.
We're probably going to start seeing some substitutions in Viroqua's lineup.
Ferget 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. And he'll pop this one out of play. Bases are full. Nobody out here in the top of the fourth. Viroqua with a 12-0 lead.
Carl, the 8:30 train's 2 minutes early.
Ground ball hit to the shortstop. Shortstop olays it. And I'm going to put down Ferget reaching on an air. Everybody else moves up one spot. Run scored. Back to the top of the
Third baseman Griffin Olson.
Griffin Olson to the bat. Olson has reached on an air, reached on a walk and a base hit, and has scored 3 runs.
The winning teams tonight, today, I believe they play at 7:30. Is that correct?
Yep. The 2 losers of game 1 and 2.
Take each other on.
Yep. That'll be that 5 o'clock game.
Okay. Well, it should be a dandy ball game if things hold serve here as it is, with Prairie du Chien and Viroqua potentially tangling.
The ground ball to the first baseman makes a nice play. He'll touch the bag and throw it home. It wouldn't have been a force out there, but a good job by the first baseman, Jake Krzyzewski.
Well, Viroqua and Prairie, their last, they had a doubleheader last week, and they split those games.
Right. Yeah, 8-2 win in game number 1 for Viroqua, and then a 4-3 loss in the shortened 5-inning ball game.
Evan Hubach, the batter now. Hubach is 1 for 3, going out to left field, a base hit to left center, and then reached on an error. The shortstop, or the base hit up the, well, let's see if it gets by. No, good job by the shortstop, and the stretch over there by the first baseman. Nice play by Andrew Thompson. And that is out number 2. Another run will score.
Now batting with 2 out, the shortstop Clayton Slack.
And Clayton Slack to the bat now. Slack is 2 for 3, a double, single, and a fly out to right field. 2 runs scored also. Fourth at bat, we're in the 4th inning. There's a sharply hit ball out to left field. A nice grab by Alex Scoville for out number 3. 3 runs across, now 15-0 by Viroqua.
bottom half of inning number 4 down here at Stoddard.
Changing pitchers, it'll be Tyler Quackenbush on the mound for Viroqua. Leading off for Stoddard will be Alex Scoville. He'll be followed by Andrew Thompson and then Josh Boardman. First pitch from Quackenbush off the catcher's mitt to the backstop.
Special thank you to Sealands Carpetland of Coon Valley, Sleepy Hollow, Chevy Buick, GMC Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Ford. Ugh, that's a lot of words for Sleepy Hollow. Snowflake Ski and Golf of Westby, the Sealand Funeral Home of Coon Valley, and Star Auto Service and Star Mini Storage.
Called strike on Scoville. Count at 1-2. Bottom half of inning number 4. Viroqua up 15-0. Strike 3 called on Scoville. Out number 1. Brings up Andrew Thompson. Thompson is flown out to the center fielder. Back in the first. Strike. Thompson. 1 down. There's a slow breaking curveball from Quackenbush. Quite reached through the zone. Fouled off the screen. Good hustle here by Boardman to pick up that foul ball. There's a swing and miss. Quackenbush gets a strikeout number 2 for him. This one's swinging. And they'll bring up Josh Boardman, number 22.
Center fielder Josh Boardman.
Mention Swenson Doors of Viroqua. T's Auto Sales and Service. That's right across the street here, isn't it, Ken?
That's right.
In Stoddard, the Marketplace in Gaze Mills, along with the Shawan Company, also of Gaze Mills, and the Thirsty Turtle here in Stoddard.
Called strike 2 on Boardman. A lot of break on the ball does Quackenbush. Boardman grounded out to end the first inning. It was off the pitcher's glove to the second baseman and then on to first. For that out, count now at 1-2 to Boardman. He'll be followed by Jake Krzyzewski if he gets on. And a swing and a miss.
Got him on that outside.
And
Outside
that's
corner.
3 strikeouts there by Quackenbush.
We go to the top of 5. Due up for Viroqua. They're 4, 5, 6 hitters.
Well, it looks like maybe only an inning to go. We're in the fifth.
Top of 5, and on the mound is Bryce Grilly, and he grills Camden Oliver, the leadoff batter, and hit by pitch, so Oliver goes on down to first. Yeah. Well, Oliver was 3 for 3 before that at bat, but he's now reached base safely 4 times. He's going to bring out Braden Landowski. Pitch outside, Landowski. Bryce Grilly on the mound. We think Walls is at first. Got a couple other position changes, but I didn't catch them all. Pitches to the backstop, but Oliver will stay at first.
Some more area sponsors that are bringing you the coverage of this weekend's Legion Baseball Regional. Tippy Toe Inn of Chaseburg, Tuna's Bar of Genoa,
Yep.
Vernon Communications Cooperative, Vernon Electric, and Scenic Rivers, and the Viroqua VFW.
Tomorrow's games will start at noon, West Salem, and back here at 5 o'clock with Chuck and Carl.
3-1 the count on Landowski. He'll swing at a pitch just a little bit outside, and it goes foul out of play. Yeah, I've been very impressed with the umpiring crews we've had today. They've been, in my opinion, here very, very consistent behind the plate as far as balls and strikes. And why don't you tell us who they are again, Carl?
Behind the plate, we have Jason Rude, and out on the bases, Brandon Mickelson.
Okay. A walk.
Landowski with a walk. Now in the game, number 2, Aiden McDowell.
Aiden McDowell is batting now. In the game for Noah Matheson. Number 2.
Thanks going out to the Viola Quick Stop of Viola, Viroqua Dental Center, Lene Klum and her staff, the Viroqua Food Co-op, and the Viroqua Public Market.
Games tomorrow, by the way, at West Salem on Channel 7, if everything works right, the Westby School District. Looking at Facebook or YouTube. We'll keep our fingers crossed on that. 12 o'clock start time, Westby and Gaze Mills.
Count full on McDowell. And McDowell will take a walk. And the bases are loaded.
McDowell takes a walk that loads the bases. And now in the game, number 11, Andy Quackenbush.
Andy Quackenbush steps to the plate.
Other games tomorrow at West Salem, 2:30, 5 o'clock, and 7:30 to round out the day. Teams will be playing twice.
And a ground ball past the third baseman down the left field line. A run will score. Everybody moves up one spot.
That was Camden Oliver coming across home.
RBI single for Quackenbush. And now in the game, batting Ethan Solberg.
Solberg stepping in to bat here from the left-hand side.
Solberg enters the game for Casey Kowalczyk. Nobody out here. The base is loaded. One run across here in the fifth for Viroqua. They lead 16-0. Solberg. Swing and miss. There's a fly ball out towards left field. The left fielder makes a heck of a nice catch. And that's Alex Scoville out there. And we have one down.
It's never easy when the ball's kind of moving away from you a little bit too.
Okay, this is Benny Fergit back to the bat now with the bases loaded and one down. Entering the top at number 5. Viroqua leading 16-0.
We'll take a moment here with Benny Fergit finishing up his at-bat. He must be 3-1 right now. We'd like to thank Viroqua Monument, the Viroqua Hills Golf Course, Westby Co-op Credit Union, and Whaling Farms and Country Store of Westby.
Fergit will take a walk.
We may have a... Oh.
Another run scores. Everybody slides up a base. One out.
Now we got the top of the order, Griffin Olson.
Griffin Olson bats for the 5th time. We are in the 5th inning. Olson has reached on an error, a walk, a hit, and then was out by 3 unassisted. The fly ball out to left again, and the catch made by Scoville for out number 2. Evan Hubach will bat with 2 outs.
Evan Hubach.
Hubach has flown out to left, singled to left, reached on an error, and grounded out to the shortstop. There's a ground ball to the shortstop again. Shortstop over to second for the 3rd out. The end of the inning. Viroqua up 17-0.
Well, we're 3 outs away from finishing things off here in game number 2 tonight.
Now, Viroqua, we're to the bottom of the 5th inning, and leading things off is Jake Krzyzewski. And this would be called after 5, correct? Unless Stoddard can come up with 8.
8 runs.
Okay. They knocking on wood, or whichever you want to say it too. We have a no-hitter going here for the Viroqua pitchers: Andy Baumkamp, Tyler Quackenbush, and now Andrew Quackenbush.
That sounded an awful lot like a windshield or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope it wasn't that red pickup.
I hope not. I don't think so.
Well, we've had 2 of them go in through the windshields at the Park Bowl so far this summer.
Okay.
Oh,
All right, count 3-1 on Krzyzewski. Krzyzewski is grounded out, and he's going to reach on a walk. I've got him down as being just a second base runner today.
Brings up
For Stoddard,
Gabe Walls.
Gabe Walls batting now. His first plate appearance. And he fouls the first pitch off.
Even though the temperature has cooled down, they didn't really get rid of any humidity.
Nope, still plenty sticky, but not too bad. Probably down in the 70s now. Boy, the flag straight down. No air movement at all. Count 1 and 2 to Walls. All back. Goes much farther here. We're going to have to get a light here.
yeah. Our light above us burnt out apparently. So
All right. Well, I'm good here for a little while yet. Oh.
Hopefully they got enough concessions sold today they can go out and get some light bulbs.
Another pitch followed back by Walls. Runner on first, nobody down.
Thank a couple more of our sponsors, the Westby Area School District, for supporting this weekend's baseball action, along with the Westby American Legion.
There's a called strike 3 on Walls for the first out here in the bottom of the 5th. I think he's going to bring up Brock Taylor. Taylor, number 28, batting left-handed. Grounded out 4-3 in his first plate appearance. Good job behind the plate by Hubach to keep that ball in front of him. Called strike on the top outside corner. Taylor will be followed by Brian Ziegler. Slaps one to left. There's a base hit. First hit of the game for Stoddard.
Base hit for Taylor.
Runners now at first and second.
One out.
Brian Ziegler steps in. Ziegler, the third baseman. Struck out swinging in his first plate appearance. Pitch. The ground ball right out in front of the catcher. The catcher grabs it. That is Hubach, and he throws on over to Camden Oliver. Nice job by Hubach. Behind the plate there, pounced on that and threw it to first for the out number 2. Going to bring up Bryce Grilly, I believe.
Last couple sponsors of tonight's broadcast.
Bryce
being brought to you by the Westby Rod and Gun Club. And of course, I didn't hear Ken say it when he was reading the sponsors.
Fly ball to left field. It's going to be a tough play, and it's going to get all the way to the fence for Bryce Grilly. Grilly into second base, and a run being scored for Stoddard.
2 RBI double for Grilly. Now we go to the top of the order. Aiden Brzezinski.
We also have to thank Ken Manning and Western Wisconsin Video Productions. Ken would also like to thank all of the sponsors for making this special broadcast of the Legion Baseball Tournament a success. Be sure to stay tuned to watch the rebroadcast of these games for the tape-delayed broadcast of our local teams in the regional and state competitions.
Brzezinski, base hit.
Base hit for Brzezinski brings up Alex Scoville.
Well, he hit the ball right back up the middle, and of course, Chuck, that was I always thought that was, you know, what you did best was.
Well, that's what my dad always taught us, or told us at least, try to hit it right back up the middle. It was always a tough play if you get it past the pitcher. The tough play for the shortstop to make. You want to throw it across there if he gets to it, and then oftentimes your second baseman doesn't have the strongest arm, and if he gets to it, he may not. If you're quick enough, he may not throw you out anyway. So always remember my dad telling us that.
Yeah.
2 outs. There's a slap into right field, a base hit for Alex Scoville.
RBI single for Scoville.
17-3.
Andrew Thompson.
2 down. Andrew Thompson up to bat. He has flew to center field and struck out. First strike on him. Throw, oh, they're going to get him there at first. They do. Nice job there by Evan Hubach. Got the runner a little bit too far off the base. Throws her down to Camden Oliver, and the tag applied.
And
so
that's the ball game.
Well, let's take a look at a few more of those sponsors here, and then we'll come back with the wrap-up with Chuck.
At 5 o'clock will be Fenimore and Stoddard. Game 4 is at 7:30, which
Coming back here to tonight's ball game, a 17-3 final. Let's turn the mic back over to Chuck one last time here and pick up the final game scoring.
All right, Ken. Stoddard losing this game by a score of 17-3. They had 3 runs on 4 hits and committed 4 errors. Nobody with multiple hits for Stoddard. Matter of fact, they did not get a hit to the 5th inning. For Viroqua, I've got them down for winning 17-3, 17 runs on 13 hits, and they committed no errors, multiple hits. For Clayton Slack, he goes 2 for 4 and scores 2 runs, 3 for 3 for Camden Oliver, including a home run, and he scores 2 runs, and 2 for 3 for Noah Matheson. And those are the all players with multiple hits for Viroqua. Again, they win 17-3, 17 runs, 13 hits, and no errors.
Well, Carl, it definitely, once again, Viroqua kind of showing their strength. Now they got to put it together again tomorrow night against a very familiar foe with Prairie du Chien.
Yep, and they're going to have to stay with that no errors theme if they want to have a nice, strong showing against Prairie du Chien.
Yes.
That's a killer.
Right.
Great showing tonight. Like I said, the bats were hot, the gloves were down, everything worked in their favor. Hopefully, Viroqua can continue to do that to keep pushing through the regional tournament and make their way on to that next level.
Well, there you have it. Chuck, thanks again for coming up here and helping us out, taking care of business with the play-by-play once again. Back tomorrow with another couple of games.
Sounds like a plan, Ken.
Yeah.
All
right. Well, Carl and Chuck will take things in stride and take over tomorrow. I'll be in West Salem with Dave Gluck for Friday's ball games. 4 games starting at noon, 2:30, 5 o'clock, and 7:30. 5 and 7:30 back here on Channel 14. Dave and I will be on Channel 7 if everything is working the way we hope. Well, we certainly hope that you enjoyed watching this Western Wisconsin Video Production LLC. For Carl Zuby and Chuck Rasmussen, I'm Ken Manning saying we'll see you tomorrow, whether you're here in Stoddard or in West Salem on the Diamond. Have a great rest of the evening, and we'll see you tomorrow, folks.
All right.